Roll call. We know that superintendent is not available and that Nikki is not available and Kelly is not here. But we do have a quorum with four members. So we've got that. Correspondence?
Nope.
No correspondence that I'm aware of. Doesn't appear to be anyone here for public comment. So we move right on to the minutes from July.
I would make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Sounds like it was a bit of a interesting beginning. Somebody else in here at the time. Okay, invoices for July.
There's been a couple of big expenses. One is the AED broke down, and so we thought it was important that we have one. So we just need training from the fire department. So we just have to set that up, and I think they were able to replace 3 or 4 in the city because they kind of were all bought at the same time. They've kind of all broke down.
So is the one that we got different? Is that why you need training?
It's a little bit different. It's still pretty straightforward. The other one, just chief said, don't even try to repair it.
Gotcha. So how do you know when one goes bad? I mean,
It
hopefully it's
beeps
not,
and it
you don't find out
beeps.
when you need to use it. Oh, it beeps? Okay.
It beeps and it
Like
beeps
my smoke detectors?
until you do something with it. It will not go off and it will drive you crazy.
Gotcha. Okay.
And you can try to hide it in a closet and you can still hear it go beep.
So it's in a landfill somewhere beeping at people?
Yeah. And then the test for fire inspection for the alarm.
Built-in alarm system? Yeah. Okay. Which one was that?
That's the Getsky and
Oh,
Associate,
okay.
the 500.
That's what that test, okay. Gotcha.
And then, the 1,600 is for all the magazines. We just pay one company. And they keep falling. The magazines continue to go out of business. So that price will actually continue to go down.
So how many do you think this covers? I mean, I'm not expecting you to know off the top of your head. I'm just curious, like ballpark.
I think it's 33.
Oh, okay.
At one time we had like 61.
Okay. All right.
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Revenue and expense report?
We're right on target for the year. Are there any questions or concerns? There will be some cost savings since we do have the head of youth services leaving us, as well as I just learned today that a aide is going to be moving to Milwaukee.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, I'm sorry. The budget is right on track. There will be some additional funds just because we're going to have a turnover of staff. They had a youth services and a library assistant. Good thing is that a library assistant that's been out for 3 months will be back next week.
Good. Okay,
I would make a motion to approve the revenue and expense report.
thank you.
Second?
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Building update, Tom?
So
Director's report.
included in the packet is service contract notes from HVA. They're the company that helps maintain our HVAC system. We pay roughly $1,600 a year for them to come and check everything, make sure the system is working efficiently. And there are some issues. So we've always had this issue this summer with the east side of the main level. We need a new air compressor. Okay. The challenge is it takes 4 to 5 months to get one now. So we are hopefully, we won't have a major heat wave because I think we can manage it with fans on that level. It's just that one area, and then the community room at times gets overheated. So last Friday we were supposed to have a blood drive, but they had to cancel because the heat. When they bring in all the equipment and the people, it just really gets hot in there. And even Friday wasn't too bad, even with windows open. It just doesn't get cool enough. So I did talk to Mark, and it's my understanding, I could be wrong, that the city's looking at pushing this off till next year, the whole HVAC replacement. And it will be okay as long as we can just get through the last month of warm weather. Also, too, we have an issue in the quiet room and in the lobby where it's too cold. So Steve from HVAC said there's definitely a problem. And he explains it in the report, what needs to be done. Fortunately, this is not a high cost repair. So I'm just waiting for him to send us a quote and move on from there. And then we were continuing to have some problems with the handicapped accessible doors. And they're just they're starting to wind down, and they eventually will need to be replaced. And so it hasn't been too bad of a problem. Once in a while, the door sticks and it stays open. Then eventually it will close like an hour later. So just waiting to, if we get the grant, we actually probably could use some of that money to replace those doors.
Appropriate use of that money. Did we get that door handle replaced on the main entry?
Steve is going to try to do it this week. And that's all I can. I mean, we save so much money by not calling a door person.
Yeah.
He just has to have the time to do it.
Okay. Anything else about the building right now?
Just waiting to hear about the grant. There is one other thing. You can see that there's a lot of weeds in the front. So my volunteers stopped volunteering. So I have talked to John Crane, and he has a few workers left over that haven't gone back to school. They're going to try to do as much as they can, and then we may have to hire an outside vendor to totally finish. I am working with Jennifer from Great Lakes.
Oh, bird migratory.
The birds and the bees.
Berg Migratory. I wish they had a little acronym or, but she is actually working on a layout and plan. And then also we have access to the vendors they use for pollinator plants, and there is quite a savings. So the goal now is to have everything planted by mid-September or late September. Because I guess it's actually better to plant pollinators or natives in the fall. And so we just got to get those weeds out, and then we're going to put down a little plastic till we're ready to plant.
Tom, can we go back to the building for just a second? We're waiting on the quote for the HVAC system for the door, the next step to get the accessibility fixed.
I would have to call someone to come in and give us an estimate.
Another quote for that.
So, I mean, the ideal situation is we do get the grant and we can use that money to replace all the interior mechanics, because, kids love to push that button. And So it's gotten a lot of use over the last 23 years?
That's actually pretty good life for one of those.
Sure. Also included are, the next is the library usage statistics. It's been a busy summer. Programs have been very well attended. I'm going to talk about the summer reading program in a few minutes, but all in all, I think we have really good numbers. People are using us. I just discovered a program that I want to talk to staff about. And there's a library system. Yes, it's a ginormous library system, but they do home delivery for anyone. I haven't investigated how they do that, if it's all volunteers or something like that. Because it was very interesting to read about it. There's no extra fees. The only thing that's different, you only get the books for 2 weeks because it comes every other week. So that's so it'll be interesting to see how they do it all. So next on the agenda, just a reminder, the library is 125 years old. It's hard to pin down the exact date, but we have the year. So we are holding a program on Tuesday, September 10th from 4 to 6 p.m. with a wide variety of different types of programs. Our actually 2 staff, one is a face painter. She'll be doing face painting. And actually the music is provided by another staff member who teaches guitar at UW Milwaukee and I almost said Carthage, but Concordia. And he's pretty good. He just wishes more people would go out and see music because they haven't got back out yet. So he's not getting the gigs like he used to. So it'll be fun. So I hope all of you can make it. We'll just have displays of, pictures of the old libraries. And we're going to have a gift for the oldest card holder, remember? And I'm hoping it's someone who's 100 years, because I bet you there is someone in town. Any questions about that? So I expect you to see you, everyone, okay?
It's on my calendar.
Okay, thank you. So the summer reading program, I just wanted to bring it up because it's really one of the main programs we do every year, and it's still very quite successful. This year we had almost 700 participants. We didn't beat last year's record, but I did talk to Jamie, and one of the things that we didn't have full access to the school like we used to, because we would go and talk to students. And I think now with new leadership, we'll be able to really improve that work with the school district, because it's very important to us. And there's a lot of miscommunication. When there's a changeover in administration, it does affect our relationships, and it takes some time. So I think we'll see an improvement. The programs were so well attended. It was really great. And the foam party, people had an absolute blast. And we actually ran out of bubbles, and someone had to run to get Dawn dish soap. It did work. And kids had a lot of fun. We gave away popsicles and ice cream bars, and it was a lot of fun. So just a reminder is that we use software where everyone signs up to reserve for the summer reading program and keeps track of their reading records. Well, the state is going to no longer fund it. So next year, the system is not going to fund it. They are looking for a cheaper alternative and we haven't got a price yet. I talked to the majority of the staff. They like using it because we don't have to have all the paper. Now, it was surprising to me that majority of libraries in the system did not use Beanstack. That's the name of the software. So it really is very efficient for staff to use this type of software, and I think we can probably get a good deal and use it that way. It's just that there's an app. It just saves so much staff time, and the kids these days, they just sign up. They know how to use it. It's really kind of funny to watch sometimes.
I was going to add, from a parent perspective, it is much nicer to not have to fill out all the paperwork too, and have it right in Beanstack.
So it was a really great success, and all the staff worked really hard. We had a lot of adults participating and teens, and so I think it's just going to keep getting better and better every year.
Good.
Okay, I just wanted to share a statistic regarding, because we're getting in the budget review process. So I got the number from the Department of Administration about the grant applications. So there are 97 local and tribal governments representing 57 counties throughout the state. They asked for $297 million, which is double the allocation of $107 million. So we still have a chance. You never know. Our closest, I'm not going to say competitor, is Plymouth, but they have a match from the city. And they still are not sure exactly what's the best plan per se, because it is still very up. It's very hard to really know what they're going to decide. I have a feeling that a lot of money will go towards the tribal and many of the northern communities that really really do need it. Some are in, really old buildings, some are just like in one room. And so keep in mind that the focus of the grant is broadband expansion in Wisconsin. So we are fortunate that, we're pretty good. I mean, AT&T is across the street. There are many communities. It's shocking the lack of broadband access that's available to them. So that is going to be the focus, just by all the different questions that people asked regarding the grant process. So we'll just have to wait and see. We should find out by the end of September. So budget review process. So you all have a copy of the proposed budget for 2025, which is amazing that it's 2025 already. But there's really not a lot of additional money we're asking for. So there's a few for like our maintenance contract. That's increased because the price to be part of Monarch Library System is going up. Now looked like it was going to be $6,000 or more, but they discovered an error, so now it's only like $3,000. But I was going to ask for a part-time employee, but I was encouraged not to ask because it probably wasn't going to happen. So we're not asking for any new staff.
So the wages are going up from $415,000 from $398,000, Tom?
Yes.
So is that enough to cover COLA and it's 4%? Okay.
I believe so.
Yeah, okay.
These are the numbers that were given. I'm not sure if health insurance is totally settled yet. Okay. So there may be a change with that as well.
And you've got everything, all the capital items that you want for next year submitted to the city finance director too, Tom?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's mainly if we don't get the grant, it's replacing all the computers and maybe building a children's bathroom. Is it any other questions regarding the budget?
When is the review where we go and sit down in front of the finance committee?
October, I believe. Nope,
It's the end of September.
September. And currently, we're working on the budget narrative. That's due in a couple of weeks. So that's just talking about our, goals and objective, what worked in '24, what didn't work, what our goals for 2025, which we're just following the guidelines of the strategic plan, which when you go through it, we've done a lot already. And so the ultimate goal really of the strategic plan was determine where we're going to go with the building. So if we get the grant, it will, that will be one of the major things accomplished.
Will you share that budget narrative at the next board meeting in September with this body?
Yeah,
Thank you.
because it's going to have to be finally officially approved. I don't see that much difference or changes with the budget. And so I'm fairly confident. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. There's not a big ask. And then when we finish with the budget narrative, I'll send everyone a copy, just so you have it. Just a reminder, don't respond to the whole group. Just respond individually. Any questions or concerns?
No, not about that. Tom, what is the timeline then for replacing the head of children's?
Well, I'm going to be talking with Emily. We've kind of talked a little bit. Hopefully we'll have something out maybe next week. I'm not worried about finding someone. I think we're going to get a lot of applicants because it is full-time. It is a decent wage comparable to communities around us. And it's a great opportunity. And so I really want someone who does have an MLS. I really believe that it brings a lot to that position. And I mean, Jamie's skills were outstanding in many different areas. And that's because she had a solid education and information studies. And but we may get someone lucky who may have been a teacher, may have a master's degree in education, and wants to switch careers. No, she just. But no, I think we'll have a good selection of people.
Like Tom said, we'll try to get the posting up by next week. And then typically our average time to hire is about 60 days.
And we'll contact both library schools, and so I think we'll find someone.
And you do that so that they contact their alumni?
Both of the schools have an online job service, And then I just happen to know someone at UWM who I can talk to and like, hey, do you know anyone? Or you can talk to professors who, because sometimes you can get lucky with a new grad hire. And we'll just have to see where that will take us. You know, Jamie's going to be missed. She worked really hard for the library and did incredible things. And hopefully we can find someone like her.
Yeah. Tom, does DPI send out job postings for head librarians?
Yeah. There is a list with DPI. There's a list with mainly WLA, Wisconsin Library Association. And then once it's put out in the ether, as out there in the environment, it gets spread so quickly. And so people do not have a difficulty finding a posting. How to use services will be a competitive job. I mean, it's not like there's hundreds of thousands of people out there, but this actually is a good time, hopefully, to find someone, especially locally. Are there any other questions?
I'm good.
Okay, that's all that I have.
So I would make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
Second?
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.